What's up, musician friends? This is Torian here, and today we are going to dive into part 2 of the analysis of No Limits by Israel and New Breed. The chords and the chord progression that we are going to check out today are really cool because of different reasons. Here's the demonstration. After that, I'll explain further. Alright, to recap, we are in the key of C major. C, D, E, F, G, A, B, and C are the notes of the C major scale, only white keys. This move is based on a G pedal tone, so all the chords will be played over this G. So the left hand would be staying on this G the whole time. So with the left, I'm playing G octaves. Okay, you can play it up here, but I prefer playing it down here because you get more bass and it sounds fuller. Alright, the first chord is a C chord voiced like this. With the right hand I am playing G, C, E, and G. The second chord is a D major over G. I am playing A, D, F sharp, and A. Then going to this E flat major chord with the right, I am playing B flat, E flat, G, and B flat. Then playing this F major chord voiced like this. With the right, I am playing F. I'm playing C, F, A, and C. Okay, so chord number 1, chord number 2, chord number 3, and chord number 4. Okay, so how does this make sense if we're playing in the key of C major? That's one thing I was wondering when I played this song and when I was listening to the song, because chords like E flat major or D major don't belong to the set of chords that you will usually play when playing in the key of C major, because the second chord is a D minor chord, not a major chord, a minor chord. Then the chord on the third note of the scale is an E minor chord. So where does this E flat come in and where does this D come in? And what is the function of this G pedal tone? Okay, so let's take a look at that. If we were to play in the key of G major, then this would all make sense. So let's say we're playing in G, we're playing a C chord, a D chord, and then going to this E flat, F, okay, so then it all makes sense. Let's take a look at the G major scale before we go ahead. So G major, we have G, A, B, C, D, E, F sharp, and G. Okay, so this C chord that we were playing, let's take a look at the C chord if we were to play it with the left and the right. So C, then we D chord, then E flat. Kind of makes more sense now when you hear it in the context of this G major scale. But okay, let's see. What is this E flat chord? This is the flat 6. Okay, so we have a flat 6 to a flat 7, because this is the normal 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So F sharp is 7, but we're playing a flat 7 and then to the 1. So 4, 1, 2, 3, 4 chord, 5 chord, flat 6, flat 7, and 1. Alright, but the neat thing about it is that this song is in the key of C major. So how did they fit this in? Well, they were kind of doing like they were playing in the key of G by holding this G as a pedal tone. And that is something nice. Okay, so let's break that down. We're in the key of C, and then we can use the chord on the 5th tone of the scale, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, as a pedal tone. So let's take a look at the options that we have. So you can play different chords over a 5 chord, over the base of a 5 chord. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's see. 1 over 5, 4 over 5. Maybe even when ending a song, you can play 1 over 5 and then 5. Okay. 1 over 5. Let's see. Option number 2. 4 over 5. Okay, so knowing this, we can use this bass to play different chords. So in this case, they played a 1 over 5. But now, they're playing this D. You can look at it as a special G chord, but let's see what the chordy app calls this. A G major 7 sus2. That's one way you could look at it. But in this case, they're playing 4, 5, flat 6, flat 7 in the key of G. And because we're holding this G, you can do that. So temporarily, you're switching keys while it still sounds nice within this key of C major. So, and because they're not resolving, this is the last chord they're playing before going back to this chord right here. And then at some point you can play a C. But that's a neat thing that they did right here. All right, so let's summarize. We're taking the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, the 5th note of the scale, and using that as a pedal tone to play different chords. And when would you do that? That is when you want to emphasize something within the song. So you're not looking for a forward motion like we wanted in part 1, where the bass was moving up. But we want to emphasize something. We want to keep on a certain tone to add tension. So this is something you can do, guys. Remember this. When you're doing this, you're adding tension to the song. The longer you're staying on a certain chord, on a certain pedal tone, the more tension you're creating. You can also do this if you're not playing a song. But the longer you're doing this, the more tension you're creating, because you want to resolve to the 1 chord. And point number 2 is that they were practically playing in the key of G major. So right now we're thinking in the key of G major while playing these chords, and then this E flat chord and the F chord makes perfect sense. So what are some takeaways, and how can you apply this in your situation, in a different song, in a different musical setting? Well, if you want to create tension, if you want to create any kind of tension, say for example, for you church musicians out there, this is a perfect move. Say there's something going on, the preacher is preaching, and you're there and want to create some type of tension. Go ahead and use these chords. You don't even have to have a certain rhythm for this. I would just rumble, that's what they call it, and just maybe play the octave higher, etc, etc. Try playing with different inversions so you can this is something you can do. Etc, etc. So when creating tension, you can do this. Another takeaway for you guys using this concept of playing different chords on a 5 chord is that you can end your song with some chords on this 5 chord. So for example, you want to end your song playing a 1/5, and then resolving. This is a nice way to end the song. So okay, so this is a nice way to end your song, and pivoting between different keys. So the note on the 5th degree of the scale could also be the first note of the scale in a different key. Alright, so if you guys don't understand this, make sure to ask questions in the comment section and I'll explain this in further detail if you guys want me to explain this concept a bit more in depth. Alright, so guys, to sum it up one last time, adding tension, use the note on the 5th degree of the scale, and you can play different chords to either end your song or when you're looking for a way to add tension or some kind of suspense within the music. Alright guys, I hope this video was useful for you, and like I said, if you have more questions on anything that I explained in this video, or maybe you want a more in-depth explanation on any of the topics that I discussed, make sure to ask your questions in the comment section. Keep on practicing and I will see you in the next video.